Hey, good morning friends. Today I'm going to talk about how to play the game chess. Before this, I made two videos for you. In that, I have explained what is chess, how it looks, what are the coins, how they move. And now, in this video, I'm going to talk about how the chess game is played. What is the goal of the chess and what are the few rules of the game. Okay, so let's start. Hey my dear friend, I'm Sanjay Behavioral trainer and life coach. Before going further, I want to tell you that if you want to see this type of videos on a regular basis, you can subscribe my channel by clicking this red button on the right side where it is written subscribe. Just click it. And at the same time, you have a bell icon. You can touch that bell icon so that all the notification you can get instantly. Okay, so now let's go to the chess game, how to play this chess. The goal of the chess game is to arrest the king. This is the goal of the game. Every game has a goal. So here the goal of the game is to arrest the king. You all might be aware that king can move only one square at a time in any direction. Then your role is to cover or surround that king in such a way that the king should not have any place to move. Whenever you just attack the king, means if king can be killed by some coin by you, if the opponent's king has chance to be killed by your coin, you just tell that opponent that check. What is that? Check. Check means when the opponent hears that word check, it means he understands that his king is going to be killed. In this game, you cannot kill the king. That's an important point. You can kill all the coins except the king. King can only be arrested. That's a very important point. King can only be arrested. So you have to make a strategy in such a way that you have to surround the king, you have to arrest the king in such a way that opponent king should not be able to move at any place. This is the goal of the game. Now we'll go to few rules which are very important when you start the game, when you play the game. The first rule is when you place that chessboard, that white color of the square should be on your right side. Second rule, whoever is taking white coins, he will be playing the first. The first movement will be done by the white coins only. This is the rule, right? Second rule. Now the third rule is queen should be placed on the square of the same color. Means white queen should be on the white square and black queen should be on the black square, and by the side of that king should be there. Okay, there are two advanced rules. These rules are used when you keep on playing for some time and you understand the game, then you will need these two rules. What are the two rules? One is called castling. Castling is done between rook and king. Okay, so whenever you want to put king in the safe place, in the safe corner, we have a rule called castling. Castling, castling. Okay, so castling rule is number one, you cannot do castling when your opponent gave you check. Okay, so when you have been given check, you can't castle that time. Number one. Second, you cannot do castling if you have moved your king or the rook. Okay, there are two rooks, and if you want to do castling between this rook and king, so you should not have moved either king or a rook any time in the game. If you have moved, you can't do castling. Same way, if you want to castle between this and this, so you should have not been moved either this or this. Okay, and the next rule is castling is done when the place between rook and king is vacant. So here see, rook and king, there all the places are vacant. So how it moves? So moving part is you have to move king two places, two blocks, 1, 2, and put the rook beside the king. Okay. Same way, if you want to do castling this side, so here is rook, here is your king. So how castling can be done? Just move king two places, two blocks, 1, 2, and put the rook just beside the king. So this is called castling. Okay, friend. So castling is a very important part in the game when you want to safeguard your king. There is another rule about pawn. It's a advanced rules of the pawn. Why pawn is called very important? Because if pawn keeps on moving in any column and if it reaches the opponent's place, opponent's block, last block, then that pawn becomes queen. Yeah, it's a very surprising thing, but you have to understand. Like this pawn started moving, keep on moving in the game, and nobody killed, and it reached here. Then the rule is this will become queen. It means you can have as many queens as you want if your pawn reaches the opponent's last block, in the opponent's block. So you have 8 pawns. If you make all 8 pawns to reach there, you can have another 8 queens. Yeah, but it is not so much easy. But anyway, this you have to remember, because in the game, in the middle of the game, your queen can be killed, and then you want to make the queen alive. So just make your pawn reach in the opponent's place. So as soon as it reaches, it becomes queen. So you have another advantage. So these were the 2 advanced rules that will help you to play the chess.